Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time travelling toy collector, and today we're looking at a Transformers Legacy United figure that I missed the first time around. I was very gutted about that, but have now been able to secure it on its recent re-release by Hasbro, and I picked it up through In Demand Toys, who got it out to me at the earliest opportunity, so thank you for that. This is Origin Bumblebee. Now, elsewhere in the channel, I've already looked at Origin Wheeljack and Origin Jazz, two other figures that were a bit of an ordeal to get hold of, but I managed it. And now I have the final one in the Origin trilogy, at least the Origin trilogy as it stands currently. And that is Bumblebee. And I'll just have a quick look at the packaging, because the packaging here shows you Bumblebee in his Cybertronian mode. And this is his Cybertronian mode as it appears in the animated series, alongside Jazz and alongside Wheeljack. So there's some lovely artwork there. There's the product shots on the back. There's some Energon, Energon, whatever, what do we call them? Energon things. Energon staffs, Energon poles, Energon tubes. I don't know what you call it. There's his pistol. He's also got a little jetpack there, which you can see here, which is separate and is attached. And there's his robot mode, celebrating 40 years, blah, 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 blah. And there's the whole Legacy artwork on the side that we are familiar with. That was a bit blurry, but, you know, we're past the age of Legacy now, so you've probably seen the box and the artwork enough times. And you can see him encroaching there on the side. So the figure itself, absolutely lovely, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more for you. He's got quite a jolly demeanor. There's quite a jolly demeanor in that face sculpt. Look at that. Look how happy he is just to be here. I think it just captures his sort of on-screen cartoon essence, I think, particularly well. Let me just see if I can get, there we are, a bit more in focus. We have the Autobot insignia emblazoned on his chest, along with that's all too familiar blue shaded supposed windshields on his chest area. There's some detailing on the inner arm, so for a deluxe figure we are seeing an awful lot of cover up for where there may be hollow spots, which is nice to see. I'm really taken by that face sculpt, by the way. Isn't it cute? We have detailed legs. We have the very ingeniously included, I think, faux feet for Bumblebee. So there he is with the what should be VW feet, but of course they're not in his Cybertronian mode, and you can see there is a lot of side kibble, which the Ark will take care of once he crashes on Earth. Don't worry about that. The backpack, I've attached that's his thruster pack. So that's what his silhouette looks like with the thruster pack. Back of his legs again, panels are mostly covered in. There's a little bit of gapping in the feet, but it is a deluxe, so obviously we can't be too surprised by that. Let me just pull this off so you can see what it looks like without it. Obviously, as you can see here, there is that. Oh, it doesn't want to come off now. There you go. So that's the look of the back without the thruster pack. I'll need to leave it off anyway for transformation, I'm assuming. Articulation is what you would expect from a deluxe class figure. So you do have the head giving us, it's actually very, very stiff because it's not long, quite recently arrived. So I'm not going to bore you with showing you stiff articulation, but he does have everything you would expect to see. Shoulders, elbows, bicep, minimal fist activity. It can go down, but it can't do much else, at least on my copy. We've got hips, we've got thighs, we've got knees, we've got ankle, and we've got quite an interesting angle tilt here because it's far more than just his ankle. Is there waist rotation? There is waist rotation there as well. So he does really well. He does really well in terms of being able to hold dynamic poses. So for me, this is a really, really nice bot. Initial observation, they're trying really hard, and I understand why. they're trying really hard to convey his familiar robot mode whilst basically attaching his Cybertronian mode on the back and onto his legs. But you know what else could they do, really? What else could they do? Because we want him to transform into his Cybertronian mode, so it has to be somewhere. And it is a deluxe class figure. We're not looking at a masterpiece version where they'll have all manner of amazing opportunities to hide that engineering. They don't. This is exactly what it appears to be, a deluxe class figure with a deluxe class transformation. I've not done the transformation yet. That's coming next. But I do like the concept. I like the concept of the Cybertronian modes from the animated series, and this also has just been, as I say, just been re-released, and it ties into an announcement that we've just had. I think it was at the New York Toy Fair here in March 2025, where we're getting these three characters again, so Wheeljack and Bumblebee and Jazz, as a dramatic capture 3-pack. I've seen some photos. I don't see a huge amount of difference in the deco to understand the added value of picking them up as a 3-pack. To be honest, that's kind of been my take on the dramatic capture 3-packs so far. I haven't picked up any of them. I'm not saying that they're not worth it and they're not great. I think it's a bit like the 5-pack Autobots stand pack, which a lot of people moaned, understandably, because they had to pick up the whole pack if they wanted to get hold of the Hound figure, which was essentially the Studio Series 86 Hound that was previously cancelled, and essentially plonked into this 5-pack. The only real added value comes if you don't have the majority of those other figures. I have all three of these figures, dramatic capture, the origin figures, so getting the dramatic capture makes no sense to me. But I'm sure for a lot of people it's going to be an excellent opportunity to pick up the three of them at once, especially if you missed out before, because they're really good figures. I think that you can. I've got videos for Jazz and Wheeljack, so I won't bore you with them here, but I think they do really well what they have to do. Similarly, I think he so far does what he has to do really well. He does come with a little baggie, or Autobot baggie of accessories. I shall open those up while I'm actually doing it as I speak. But I'm going to take Bumblebee away and transform him. For anyone who's new to the channel, I don't do the transformations on camera just because this isn't a tutorial. I invariably make terrible mistakes trying to follow the instructions. So what I tend to do is go away and essentially be many of yourselves. I try and transform him, make mistakes, figure out what the instructions are trying to tell me, and then I will come back with the transformed version and let you know just how straightforward or not straightforward it may be, and if there's any pinch points. So while I take him away to do that, it would be tremendous if you could drop a like to the video, and at the same time you could possibly drop a subscription to the channel. It's a small channel, there's no cost, there's no obligation to watch every single thing that I put out, but it really helps me get towards my next subscriber milestone, and it really would mean the absolute world. As I say, there's no obligation to watch everything, but there may be some things around the channel that you find of particular interest, especially if you're here today watching me look at Legacy Origin Bumblebee. Anyway, enough chatter. You can do it, you can, that's fantastic, I appreciate it. If you can't, I appreciate you anyway, just being along for the ride for this video. So don't touch that dial. And here we are back with Bumblebee all transformed up into his Cybertronian car mode. Before we take a look at that, I've unpacked the accessories. So here we have the Energon piles, posts, tubes. I can't believe I can't remember what they're called, but we have these. You get 5 of these, and remember they will also attach to Origin Wheeljack, so you can create wonderful scenes from the series. So here we have Bumblebee transformed up into his Cybertronian mode. I've equipped him with the jetpack that is optional, so we can take that off. I've left his gun in there, that's also optional. And he looks, and you know what, he looks like he looked in the series, and I think that really works nicely. The transformation is quite straightforward. It's quite rewarding. It's quite fun to do. There are some clearance issues. This is, believe it or not, the back of parts of the paneling around his feet that go in here, and it does actually make for a little bit of a challenge to get that all gross and together, for want of a better phrase. But other than, once you get that, everything else clips into place brilliantly, and it is really nice. It does hold together really well. It's got a really nice smooth silhouette. There's no wheels or anything underneath, so he can't actually roll along, and we do have visible head syndrome under there, but that's very Bumblebee, to be honest. Let's be honest. There is some nice detailing. You can see it there. There's some nice detailing worked in to the design. Lots of stuff that, you know, they didn't need to do, because this isn't, you know, this technically wouldn't be visible, because he would be upside down. So that surface detailing there is very nice. And we just have the sort of paneling detail that we had in the show. And this, for me, is a prime example, if I'm honest, of something that I've mentioned a couple of times before, when talking about, if you like, the demise sounds a little bit unpleasant, but if we talk about the future, maybe is the better phrase to use, but the future of the Studio Series 86 range, they were going to do the entirety of the animated movie cast under Studio Series 86, and that's fantastic, and I hope that they do, and I'm sure that they will. But it's what comes next. Studio Series 86 has proven to be supremely popular. Totally understandable, because it is the reimagining of the G1 characters, which is always going to be a popular well of inspiration. But giving us a combination of the figures as they appeared in animation, but with the emphasis on their robot mode, not just their vehicle mode, making it a real combination and fusion of the engineering that we would always have dreamt we'd have as children, growing up with the cartoon, but didn't in the day, because obviously we had the little blocky blocks that were the cars and the robots. And Studio Series 86 kind of fixed that fantasy and gave it to us in as well as can be realised in the modern age. And so my natural thought process is, well, maybe this is the direction to go in. So it's Legacy United now, but to me, the Studio Series 86 natural expansion is the rest of the animated series. I mean, I know we've seen some stuff from Victory and from Armada, etc., that's come out in the Victory, in the Legacy line, and in HasLabs as well. So I get all of that. But I just wonder whether that is the natural extension, is to really focus in on that G1 cartoon and give us all the characters who don't appear in the animated movie, but were very popular G1 characters and very popular in the animation, and give us animation-esque accurate figures around that. Some of them might be re-releases from the Legacy line, or even the War for Cybertron line, because there were a few that cropped up in there that were really good, and people will have missed out on that. People coming to this now, or coming to this in the Age of the Primes range, which is the one that's soon to be releasing, will have missed out on those. And I think the fact they're re-releasing some that we're seeing now, we're re-releasing some of the Siege molds, don't ask me why, but they are. So maybe that's hope for the future. Anyway, that is, as I say, for the future. Here we are in the present, and I'd just like to thank you very much for staying with me for the last 10 or 11 minutes. I've been the Triple TC, that is the time-travelling toy collector. This has been Legacy United Origin Bumblebee, as he appeared in the G1 cartoon opening series More Than Meets the Eye. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting, an opportunity to have a look at this character. As I've mentioned, if you could like the video, that's fantastic. But it would be even more fantastic if you could subscribe to the channel. Either way, I really, really appreciate you being here. It means the world to me, and I very much look forward to seeing you in a future, or indeed a past, video. It just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care, and bye-bye for now.